Hi everybody, it's Chad Husted, editor with Hardware Retailing Magazine. We're here in Greencastle, Indiana at Headley Hardware. I'm here with Jeremy from Pipe Masters. Jeremy, thank you so much for being here. Professional plumber. We're going to go over kind of some troubleshooting with an electrical water heater today on ways homeowners can kind of diagnose and find out some problems. So starting off, let's say I'm a homeowner, come home, want to take a shower, no hot water whatsoever. What are some of the ways you can kind of go about those initial ways of diagnosing such a problem?
Okay. Well, first off, you gotta make sure that you're comfortable working around electricity because we are dealing with 240 volts. But the first thing I would do is you want to check your incoming voltage.
Okay.
Get your voltmeter out. Check, make sure you got 120 on each one. If you don't, check your breaker box.
Okay.
Your breaker may be tripped. After that, we're going to follow down. We're going to make sure that we're getting power into the thermostat. And if we are, also going to check the element.
Okay.
So here on this thermostat, we've already checked up here. We verified we got 240 volt. We're going to check here to make sure we're getting it.
Okay.
This is your energy cutoff. So it's a safety switch. If that's tripped, if you push it and you hear it click, then it's tripped. You
Okay.
can go ahead and hit it. We want to verify that it's getting past it and we got the voltage down here.
Okay.
Okay. After that, I like to turn up my temperature so that the top part of the heater is not satisfied.
Okay.
And once we do that, we can check our voltage on our element.
On the
here.
element. And so the thermostat is right here. We're just pulling this out for demonstration. This is our element. That's going to be right there.
Yes. So again, you're going to check, make sure you got the proper voltage. From there, we're going to turn the power off. We're going to verify that we have the power off.
Double check.
Yep. We're going to remove these two wire leads into the element, and we're going to check for resistance.
Okay.
And this can stay inside. You don't have to remove it in order to do that.
Sure.
So you're going to check, making sure we got continuity, which we do.
Okay.
And then you're going to look at your reading. This one's coming in at 15 ohms. So that's well within the manufacturer's range.
Okay.
So we know this element's good.
That's not the issue.
Yep.
So it's just going down the line and being comfortable with the electrical aspects of things to see what might be, just kind of troubleshooting all the way down the line to see what might be causing the problem.
Correct. So with no hot water, it's usually going to be either no power, your upper thermostat, or your upper element.
Gotcha. All right, so we just ran through if you're getting no hot water out of your water heater when you turn on your shower or one of your faucets. Another issue, Jeremy, that might be happening a lot with electric water heaters, you sprung a leak. You're getting a leak out of this valve right here. What are some of the common ways that could be happening?
Okay. Well, first off, this is called your temperature and pressure relief valve. It's a safety piece of equipment here. Usually, you either have high water pressure, thermal expansion, or you got sediment, or the valves just wore out.
Okay.
So we don't repair these. You always want to just remove it, put a new one in. Okay. If you have the high water pressure in your home, you would use a device like this as a pressure reducing valve, and then you would just adjust it to an acceptable pressure. Thermal expansion, if you want to know what that is, it's basically like if you put water on a stove in a pan, turn on the heat, it starts boiling. So it starts expanding. Well, the water inside your home will do the same thing.
Sure.
So the way we resolve that is with a thermal expansion tank.
Okay.
And it's basically just an empty vessel with a bladder up here, fills with water. As the pressure goes up, the rubber diaphragm in there will absorb it.
Gotcha.
So between that, the TMP valve, and your pressure reducing valve, you should be able to resolve issues.
So really it's just either you're getting sediment in the valve or the valve has somehow failed, in which case you're just replacing it. And then if you're dealing with pressure, it's either at the main line with your with the valve here that you can adjust at the main line, or it's after the fact with a bladder like this one that can absorb the pressure. So
Correct.
those are really the different ways you can really diagnose that.
Yes.
All right, so we've gone over some of the initial diagnostic processes just for common issues you might find with electric water heater. For a homeowner, what are some of the basic tools they're going to need to go through some of these steps?
Okay, well, like you already said, most of the tools that you're going to need is basic. For setting this demonstration up, we used a Phillips screwdriver, a pair of pliers, water heater element wrench.
Okay.
This you may not have, but you can get it at your local hardware, and then a multimeter for testing your electricity.
Absolutely. So nothing that too outside the box for a normal toolkit for most homeowners. If there was anything, it might be the element wrench right here, but certainly not something that's going to set them too far back.
No, and if they don't have one, if they got large enough sockets, they can just use a regular socket.
Perfect. All right, Jeremy, so we talked over a couple of diagnostic issues that homeowners can kind of go through, some of the tools they're going to need. What are some of the skills that maybe a homeowner just needs to be aware of or have on hand to be able to kind of accomplish these diagnostic sets?
Okay, well, most importantly is safety. So if you're not comfortable working around electricity, don't even attempt it. If you are experienced with electricity, don't have issues with it, you want to make sure that you know where your main water shutoff valve is. And also, I would advise having your manual to your water heater with you, and also know how to use the tools, the basic tools that you're going to use for it. So
there are some things they want to be aware of. We are working with electricity, so those are going to be, you just want to be able to be comfortable around that. If not, call a professional. Don't mess around with electricity if you're not comfortable being around those things. Understanding of your plumbing system, main water lines, shutoffs, things like that. And then, you know, the manual can be a very important aspect for troubleshooting. All those troubleshooting steps are in there. So if you're able to accomplish those things and you feel comfortable, then a homeowner should be able to walk themselves through diagnosing the issue.
absolutely.
So we want to thank Headley Hardware for having us today. Thank you, Jeremy, for walking us through the basic steps for a homeowner with an electric water heater, what some of the issues might be, and then how to diagnose them. I'm Chad Husted for Hardware Retailing. Thanks for watching.